ओम शांति। अभी ओम शांति एक होता है अपन को
One form of Om Shanti is to merge everything and go into silence. The other Om Shanti is to be in full attention, and the intellect goes nowhere else, but the attention is fully on oneself, and you are positioning yourself in front of Baba and looking at yourself. In this way, from 7 to 7:30, when we have this time for sitting in remembrance, now it would be very good that I am sitting in remembrance and speaking, and you sit in remembrance and listen. This is also a rehearsal. To listen whilst being in remembrance, to speak whilst being in remembrance. Because our remembrance of Baba that is within us fills us with peace and with power. The soul needs to understand what real silence is. The silence or peace within the soul has been stolen away by Maya, which we had received in the previous kalpa from Baba. Maya had stolen it away. And Baba has come and spoken to us that you once again take this peace from Baba. And he has given us the experience of this. Baba also, the word Baba can come from our heart later, after we have once understood and experienced silence. Once we have received peace, then only, as love, then only we say Baba. So this, what we receive from Baba, because of which we have come to Baba, this allows us to make steps of progress. But what happens, the reason for which we came to Baba, we liked it and so we came. But then for us to continue and continue taking this from Baba, Baba has spoken about this. One is that the old sanskaras and old relationships, because the world is old, and old means it is iron-aged. And now we understand it's the old iron-aged world, and so it has to be conscientiously forgotten. Now we have come into the confluence age, and the golden-aged world that is coming is pulling us. The iron-aged old world, it's iron-aged, so we don't like it. It is full of sorrow and peacelessness, and it has a tendency to trap us and doesn't allow us to remain in peace and happiness, because we are habituated to live in that old world. The soul has become habituated to it. It is habituated to being sorrowful. There is the habit of having waste and negative thoughts, and now, once we have become Babas, Baba explains to us with so much love, and we have to sit with ourselves and explain it to ourselves and fill ourselves with that. But we don't give time to ourselves to absorb it deep within, because first we have to free ourselves from the other things that are deep within ourselves. It is from within that we have to free the soul. When we say Om Shanti, does that make us free, or does it make us free to say Baba? These are two possible ways. One is to say Om Shanti and we become free. The other is Baba, and that makes us free.
ये छोड़ के ये होना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए,
leaving
ये
this,
नहीं
this
होता है,
should
ये
be
नहीं
there,
होता है।
this is not happening,
जंगल
this
में
is
भटके
supposed to be.
भटकते
We
हैं।
are wandering around in that jungle of other thoughts.
बाबा जो हमको अपना बच्चा बना करके
Baba has made us his child
एकदम न्यारा,
and made us detached.
सब बच्चे इनसे न्यारा,
He says, children, free yourselves, detach yourselves from all
मेरे
that,
प्यार की शक्ति से
and by the power of my
ऐसे
love,
बन जाओ।
make yourself this,
ये इस यहाँ का वातावरण तुमको टच भी न करे।
so that the atmosphere and vibration of the world doesn't even touch
बाबा
you.
ने कहा था,
And so Baba had
लहर भी ना आवे,
said
लहस भी ना आवे।
there shouldn't be a trace or a wave of that.
इतना बाबा के साथ प्यार माना,
There should be
बाबा
so
के
much
जो
love
बोल
with
है ना,
Baba, the
उसके लिए बहुत
words
प्यार।
of Baba, we have so much love for those
इतने
words.
अच्छे लगे, इतने अच्छे,
They feel so
फायदा बहुत है।
good, they're full of benefit for us.
उसमें फिर कोई भी पुरानी
And in that there should be
बुद्धि को
no
भटकने की आदत,
these habits of the intellect to wander around, or attraction of some bodily
या
person
साधनों की attraction,
or of objects,
या बुद्धि चले ये न हो, ये न हो।
or we say this shouldn't happen and that shouldn't happen, and the intellect works on
इसमें
those
अंदर
thoughts
से आत्मा शांत
because
रहने की शक्ति
they,
जो अंदर
the power to
काम
for
करे
the
ना,
soul to keep
नहीं
itself
करती।
quiet doesn't do its work.
दूसरा मैं
Another thing is,
आत्मा क्या हूँ गहराई में जाए,
we have to go into the depth of what exactly
जो
is
देह
I,
दुनिया
the soul,
समझिए,
so that we can put on one side the
अति
world
सूक्ष्म है।
and the world of relationships and go to
सत्य है,
the
चैतन्य है,
total
शुद्ध है,
subtlety
शांत
of
है।
the soul, which is true,
सत्य है, चैतन्य,
living,
उधर टिप जाओ अंदर,
and
सत्य
peaceful
है, चैतन्य है, शुद्ध है,
and
शांत है।
pure.
जो
We have
बोल
to
रही
go
हूँ
into
ना,
the depth of
देखो
that.
है
As I'm
practically,
saying this,
अंदर
go
आत्मा
into the
सत्य
depth
है।
of that. It's truth.
बस असल उसमें झूठ नहीं था,
There was
body
absolutely
conscious
no
से उसमें झूठ भर
falsehood,
गया।
but falsehood came into the soul through body
तो
consciousness.
चैतन्य है,
It is living,
तभी तो शरीर चलता है, बात करता है,
and so
चैतन्य
the
है,
body is moving and talking,
वो शुद्ध शांत नहीं है,
but the soul is not pure or peaceful.
अंदर संकल्प शांत वाला, शुद्धि वाला नहीं है।
There are not pure and peaceful thoughts going on within.
तो जैसे आत्मा को
So
शरीर
the
चला रहा
soul
है,
is running the
body
body
conscious से,
through body consciousness.
स्वयं आत्मा में अपनी शक्ति नहीं है,
The soul doesn't have its
जो
own
मालिक होकर
power
के शरीर को चलाए।
by which it can become the master and
मन
rule the
कर्म
body,
इंद्रियों
run the
की
body as a
आत्मा गुलाम हो
master.
गई है।
The soul has become the slave of the mind and the
बस या
sense
तो मन
organs.
खींचता है या कर्म इंद्रियां खींचती है,
Either the sense
या यहाँ
organs
का
pull
वायुमंडल
or the
खींचता है,
mind
गुलाम है वहाँ।
pulls or the atmosphere pulls, so the soul
अभी
is
ये understanding
enslaved.
से, अंदर
And
से,
so by this understanding that we have
मैं
within,
गुलामी को छोड़ूं,
we have to become free from this slavery
मालिक बनूं।
and make ourselves as a
तो
master.
लगेगा तीसरा
And
नेत्र
then
खुला,
we can say that the third eye has opened.
फिर बाबा सामने खड़ा हो गया,
And
या
then
बाबा ने
Baba
खोला,
is standing in front of
या मैं
us.
बाबा के पास आ गई।
Either Baba has opened the eye and I have come and stood in front of Baba.
भले 15 साल ज्ञान में हुआ है या 30 साल ज्ञान
Even
में,
if I've been
ये
in Gyan for
अनुभव
15
करने
or
के लिए
30
अपन को अंदर
years,
टाइम नहीं दिया है।
we haven't given ourselves time to have this experience within.
अंतर आत्मा ने अपन को टाइम नहीं दिया
The
है।
soul hasn't given time to itself to go into the inner depths.
भटकने में
Because of wandering
थकी भी
around,
पड़ी है,
it has become
भटकने
tired,
की आदत छोड़ती
but
नहीं आत्मा।
it is not leaving aside this habit of wandering
बाबा
and
दृष्टि देके
stumbling.
खींचता है, मीठी
Baba
बातें
gives
सुनाता है,
drishti and pulls the
exercise
soul,
कराता है,
speaks
अच्छी
good
लगती है,
things,
फिर
gives
भी
us
आत्मा
exercises,
अपनी
we
आदत
like
छोड़ती
it,
नहीं है।
but still the soul doesn't leave
उसको ये अच्छा
aside
लगता है।
its habits. It likes it at the time when
तब
it's
तो इतने
happening,
हजारों लोग बाबा
and
के
this is
सामने
why
आते हैं।
so many thousands of people come in front of Baba.
पर अंदर से
But
नेचुरली ऐसी स्थिति हो जाए,
to have this stage naturally within,
शुद्ध शांत है,
so that the soul is pure and
अंदर शुद्ध
still,
शांत है।
quiet, peaceful inside,
अशुद्धि का इतना
and not even the
छींटा भी
slightest
न
splash
सारी
of old
clean,
impurity,
pure
but
आत्मा
the soul has to be totally clean and pure,
तो कोई भी पुरानी बात
so that nothing
खींचती नहीं
of
है
anything old can pull the soul.
ये अपने ऊपर
And so one must
सबका
have such
question है
attention
बाबा
to oneself.
कैसे क्या
Everyone has
होगा
the
बाबा का सतगुरु का
question.
रूप धारण
Now
करेगा
Baba is going to take the form
इतना
of the
समय तो बाप
Satguru.
टीचर
For
सतगुरु
so
हमारे
much
साथ
time
रहा
he has
बाबा ने
been
ये
with us
क्यों
as the
कहा
father, teacher and
क्वेश्चन उठता है मेरा
Satguru.
भी
Now why did he speak
क्वेश्चन का
about
आंसर मेरे
this?
पास है
And I
उसी
also
घड़ी
had this question.
आंसर
At that
है
moment the answer came when Baba said that.
सतगुरु का रूप है ही
The
श्रीमत
form of the Satguru is Srimad.
श्रीमत से
And
पढ़ाई
it
है
is
ना
through Srimad, which is our study,
वो जैसे ऐसे धारण हो जाती है
we have to absorb it and
मेहनत नहीं
inculcate it so naturally that there is no labor involved.
जो कई बच्चे स्कूल में भी होते हैं
There are some children
मेहनत
at
इतनी
school
करते हैं
who
पर इतना
labor so
भाग्यवान होते
much,
हैं
but
जो नंबर बड़ा अच्छा
there,
लेते हैं
there are some who are so fortunate that they take the first place
सदाई
easily
फर्स्ट में आएंगे
and they're always first all the
तो उनके पास
time
एम होती है
because they have the
अब
aim
नंबर कम नहीं लेंगे
that we will not get a lower position.
शान नहीं है
This is not our
मैं किसका
dignity.
बच्चा हूँ
Whose child am I?
और जो जिसको ये नहीं पता है मैं किसका बच्चा हूँ
And the
मुझे
one who doesn't understand
pass
whose
होना है
child I
ना,
am and that I have to pass
ये
the
aim
exams
नहीं होती है
fully,
ना,
if you don't have that
कहीं
aim,
फेल होते हैं
then you may
या
fail
हमारी पास हो जाते हैं
or only
तो
just
सारी उम्र
pass.
15 साल पढ़ेंगे
And
12 साल
so
पढ़ेंगे
if you
पर
have
नंबर 1
studied
में
for
आवे
the
या
whole
अच्छे नंबर में आवे ना
life, and
Never.
you will not get a number one
आदत
position because of these habits
केयरलेस रहने की
of being careless.
या कोई न कोई कारण से
Or for some reason or another,
एक्सक्यूज दे करके अपनी
you
अवस्था को
give
खराब कर देना
excuses and then you make your stage bad.
कारण कुछ भी हो
Whatever
अवस्था
the
अच्छी रखना
reason is, but you
शान
must
है
keep your stage good. This is your dignity.
कारण गया पर अवस्था
The reason disappeared, but the
बाबा
stage,
बड़ी अच्छी बना दी
Baba
बाबा
should
बड़ी
say,
मदद करता है
Baba is helping us a great deal.
किसी भी कारण से
For no
बाबा की मदद से
reason,
मैं पास हो जाती हूँ
for any, no matter
बाबा
what the
मुझे full
situation,
pass
I
होके
will
दिखाना
pass.
है
Baba, I will pass fully and show you.
मैं बाबा मैं बनूंगी
Baba,
जरूर
I will definitely become
औरों
what you're
किसी को
speaking
कोई
about.
बने न बने भले सब
Whether
बने
other people
पर मैं
become
रह
it
नहीं
or not,
जाऊंगी
even
बाबा
everybody should become
ऐसे
it, but
बाबा
I
से
will not
मीठी
get left
मीठी
behind.
बातें
In this
करके
way, have
बाबा
sweet
से शक्ति खींच
conversation with
लेते हैं
Baba and draw power from
सतगुरु
Baba
रूप
to
करके
accomplish this, because this is his
न
form
ऐसे
of the
बाबा बाबा कहते
Satguru.
हैं
Not just saying Baba Baba,
पर जैसे बाबा पढ़ाते हो
but
ना
just as Baba is teaching us,
पर बनमत नहीं चलाते हैं
we would not use our
परमत
own
नहीं चलाते हैं
thoughts, our own manmat,
गुरुमत
or our parmat, the influence of other people, but
श्रीमत
gurumat, shrimat, the
आहा
instructions of the
बाबा
Satguru. Oh, Baba,
अब तो मेरे को समझ गए अभी
you have
कोई
understood
दुख
me.
आ रहा था वो चला गया मैं तो
Maybe some
बाबा
sorrow came, but it's gone. Okay, never mind. Baba, I'm with you.
खुशी से आ गई
I've come to you, Baba, with happiness.
ये अपने भाग्य को देख ये
See
भाग्य
your
है
fortune. This is your
बाबा
fortune. That you have Baba, the
सतगुरु
teacher, and the
तीनों
Satguru, all three.
इकट्ठे हैं
They're together.
पर जो श्रीमत पर नहीं चलते
And
हैं
those who do not follow
वो होमवर्क
Srimat,
नहीं करते
they will not do their homework properly,
जो मन मत उसको होमवर्क करने नहीं
because
देती
their
बिजी कर देती है
manmat keeps them busy and doesn't allow them to
जैसे
do
ये हो रहा है
homework.
तो ये नहीं हो रहा है
This is
या यज्ञ
happening,
में
this
ये
is
नहीं होना
not
चाहिए
happening,
फला
this
ये
should
नहीं
not be
होना चाहिए
happening in the yajna.
अपमान
They have a lot
अपमान
of arrogance.
अपमान
Arrogance
देय मानी स्थिति क्या है कभी उसका अनुभव करने नहीं देती है
doesn't ever allow them to know what the stage of soul consciousness is.
देय अपमान को छोड़
You have to leave
realize ये
body
देह अपमान है,
consciousness.
ये
You have to
देह अपमान
realize
है,
that
ये
this
देह
is
अपमान।
body consciousness. All these
फिर
different things
शिकस्त
are
भी
body
नहीं होगी।
consciousness. It doesn't mean you have to become depressed.
और अपन भानवश अपन को
But
राइट
you
समझे और को रॉन्ग समझे
can't think that you are in your arrogance and think you're right and everybody else is wrong. That is also arrogance.
अभी से लेकर
From now,
आज से
from today,
अपने ऊपर सच्चा सही रूप से पुरुषार्थ
make effort on yourself in a very true way,
मिक्सचर नहीं क्लियर है
very clearly without
मैं
any
अपन को
mixture.
आत्मा
I
जानूं
must know myself as a soul,
बुद्धि से ये मेरा आत्मा
and with
उस
the
रूप को
intellect
मेरा
understand
असली
this is my self, the soul, and this is my original form in a state of complete purity and quietness.
बाबा ऐसा है मेरा आत्मा
How
सुख
is
दिखाई
Baba?
करता है
So that Baba
आँखों से
should,
क्या अंदर
I
की
should be
आँख
able
जो
to
खुलती है
see
ना,
it with my
बाबा
inner
कैसा
eye.
है
I should be able to see exactly how Baba is, because Baba is a soul.
तो उसके डीप कनेक्शन हो जाने से
And because of having a very
knowledge
deep connection,
लवफुल बना देती है
knowledge makes us loveful.
बाबा के लिए प्यार खींच लेती है
And so the
बाबा
love
प्यार
of
करता है वो तो
Baba,
बाबा का काम है
Baba
पर
loves us,
आत्मा
but the
बाबा से
soul
प्यार खींचने के लिए खींचने से
has to be able to
प्यार की
draw
शक्ति से
Baba
जैसे
with
सतगुरु की भी
the
आ जाती है
with the power of its love for Baba, so that the Satguru comes.
टीचर फर्ज समझ के पर आता है
The teacher understands his duty and
बाप फर्ज समझ करके
teaches us
अच्छी
very
तरह से
well.
पालना
The
करेगा
father sustains
जैसा
us,
है, वैसा है,
understanding his
सब
duty very well.
The
No matter what
Satguru-
the child is, he is mine. But the Satguru
देखेंगा
will see,
ये बाप का नाम
is this
बाला का
one
निकास का ध्यान है
paying attention on
Teacher
revealing
जो
the
मेहनत
name of the
करता है ना,
father. The
उसका
effort
कदर है,
of the teacher
God है
has to be regarded
यज्ञ
and
जो भगवान ने
respected.
रचा है ना
The yagya which Baba has created,
उसकी सेवा
serving
के
it
लिए उसको बड़ा महत्व है
is a
ये
very
नहीं कहता
important
करुणा सेवा
thing.
है अरे हड्डियां भी सारी सेवा में चली जाए ना
Even if
हड्डी
all of our
मजबूत होगी,
bones go in it, actually the bones will become strong.
बाकी हड्डी कोई टूट नहीं जाएंगी हड्डी में दर्द नहीं पड़ेगा
And there will be no pain or breakages in the bones which serve the
दर्द उनको
yagya.
पड़ता है जो हड्डी सेवा नहीं करते हैं
Those people get pain who don't have very intense
यज्ञ की
service.
हड्डी सेवा अंदर हड्डी सुख देती है
The deep
किसी को नहीं
service
देखते, ये
with
क्या
the
करते हैं,
bones,
क्या?
nobody is
जो भी
seeing,
सेवा
they
है।
don't see anybody else, but whatever service they get, they will do that with
झाड़ू लगाना है या बर्तन
attention,
मांजना है।
whether it is washing dishes
बड़े
or
भाषण
sweeping
करने
the
का न मिले।
floor, even if they don't get to give lectures.
कराची में हमें कोई भाषण तो नहीं किया था
In Karachi, we didn't do any lectures.
किसके सामने करें
In front of whom would we do that?
बाबा सुना रहा है हम
Baba
आपस में
was
एक
speaking
दूसरे
to us,
गहराई में
and with each
दादियाँ
other,
हमको
we
अच्छी तरह से
daddies would go
ले
into
जाती
the
थी बस।
depth
अब
of
मम्मा
what
की
he
शक्ल
would
देखते थे
speak,
कैसा।
and we would see how Mama's face is.
पर उन दिनों में भी
In those days
किसी
also,
को दर्द होता था ये करना,
if
ये
somebody
करना,
had
सिर में दर्द है,
this
पेट में
pain,
दर्द है, पाँव में दर्द है।
pain in the
ये
feet
कि
or
सेवा
the
के लिए दर्द है, खाने की दर्द नहीं है।
the stomach, they had pain when it came to service of the yagya, but they didn't have pain when
सोने
it
के लिए
came
नहीं
to
है।
eating or sleeping.
सोने के लिए अच्छी खटिया चाहिए ये चाहिए ये
For
चाहिए।
sleeping, they want a nice bed and all these
खाने
different
के लिए भी
things, and for
अच्छा
food,
चाहिए।
they want something good to eat.
सोने के लिए अच्छा चाहिए
For sleeping and
कई बाबा
eating,
हम
but
बच्चों से
there are some
कभी
children
सोने
of
के लिए
Baba
solution मांगी होंगी,
who
खाने
never
के लिए
asked anything special for sleeping or eating.
पहले और सब जहाँ
First,
और कुछ
others
पहले वो
should
हो।
have.
पहले और सब खाए
First, others should eat.
वो जो अंदर का दिल का जो भावना है ना
The one
त्याग
who
है ना,
has that
भावना है ना, वो
feeling
सुखी
of
बनाता है।
renunciation from within, they can become happy.
एक है आत्माभिमानी स्थिति के अंदर की मेहनत है।
One is the inner effort for the
रूह से
stage of the soul.
परमात्मा रूह में मेरे निर्मला बहन को दो शब्दों में अनुभव सुनाया।
I spoke with Dr. Nirmala in a couple of words. We were together for 2 or 3 hours,
4 घंटे साथ
maybe 4 hours. the soul, draw this power of the Supreme Soul within me, and this is what is running me. I have not been asking for power. I am not weak, so I am begging for power. No. I am not empty, and my power is not depleted, so that I would be put down by that. Or somebody else's influence on me has put me under their influence. I'm not that weak. But the personality within, having the power of purity and peace, if there is a little insufficiency of purity, then how can I fill myself with the supreme power? I remember Baba has made us practice this very well. I, the soul, am pure. Child, look at yourself very carefully. And Baba sees that this one is attentive on herself. The attention is not going anywhere else. They're doing the work, but the attention is on the self. And then Baba helps us to have the effort which enables us to have even more success. We don't need any support of any bodily person. Anyway, Lokik is Lokik, but even amongst the divine family, we should not depend on anyone. Of course, we have many who cooperate. There's a difference between support and cooperation. It's as if I want support, and without that person I'll fall apart. The soul isn't able to remain in soul consciousness without that support. That kind of person, you don't want to be that. But the spiritual, loving company of the divine family, I should live within that, and wherever I sit, wherever I stand, even if I'm alone and I have nobody, still within, the soul is with Baba, isn't it? Even I'm in the midst of thousands, but I am with Baba, and then they will receive that vibration. I will not come under their influence. I always see Baba is in the midst of thousands, and he creates such a powerful vibration. Day before yesterday night, after Baba left, there was so much of crowds all over the place. I was with Dadi Gulzar in the car, and even we couldn't drive the car. There was so much crowds. To go between Shanti Bhawan and Dadi's cottage, we had to go for dinner afterwards, and we have a lot of discussion up until at least midnight. But then afterwards, nobody was there. This is why I said there's so many people sitting in the hall, but still it was so quiet. Dadi Gulzar came, and then afterwards there was so much noise. There were so many people started moving around. So how does Baba catch us and make us so quiet? Why should we not take this ability from Baba as our inheritance? Baba says, remember the father and the inheritance. This is also in today's Murli, and then you will get the status of a king. If we haven't learned this capacity, doesn't matter how many lectures we have given, we're still considered to be empty. we get maybe happy everybody liked my lecture, but internally that person is empty. I always think, just as in the old days, there are different kinds of people. In Sindh, there are business people and people who earn wages. Business community will never earn wages. They do not consider it their dignity. If somebody can earn hundreds of thousands, why would they get a job? The father is a businessman, and then the child goes and does a wage-earning job. They should become so clever at business that they're better than their father even. Their intellect should be so clever. Of course, the father is the father, but the child should be miraculous. And there are some sons who want the inheritance from the father and then they just waste it. They will not accumulate it or increase it. Some people will make the inheritance even greater through their own effort. And they will say, this is the blessings of the father, the blessings of the father. And how are they earning? But they say, no, it's the father's blessing. And another son, they will waste everything. Whatever they got, they just waste it. So what is their blessings? And then it comes to the matter of the Guru. Baba is the Satguru. And from each one's effort, you would say, it is the form of the Guru who is from which you are pulling your accumulation, your benefit for the future, the donation, that which you have made yourself wealthy with. You fill yourself with power, not for me to spend, but I have to not be miserly, no matter how much I have to serve. I have to give the return to Baba of what he has given, and so I should be generous. I'm receiving so much. Some people, they say, oh, I did so much work, so I'm tired. What have you done? You haven't done anything. Because whatever was the blessing of today, the one who does true service, they are the ones who receive the blessings. It doesn't matter how much hours you work, you will definitely get paid for the hours you work. But those ones will not serve the yagya. Those who serve the yagya never have any desires in their mind. They are ignorant of the meaning of desires. They don't have any desires for themselves. But everyone should come and be very happy. All of their desires should be fulfilled. They have this feeling for the yagya. They don't have desires, but they have good feelings. And so those who teach themselves in this way, explain these things to themselves, Baba will constantly give them help from within in the form of the Satguru. So come and ask Dadi Gulzar about this. What is the meaning of that? But this is my interpretation. The Satguru, he is playing the three parts together, Father, Teacher and Satguru, and the Dharmaraj is sitting secretly with them. If you have a good thought, you will get good happiness. If you have negativity in your thoughts, it will go to waste. Negativity is poison, and it will destroy all of your power and turn you dark, like a snake bite changes your color. You turn blue because of negativity, and you will become very weak. The weak person has a lot of waste, and they get sick very quickly. They get infections very quickly. Therefore, you have to destroy the weakness within, and there has to be so much power in your connection with Baba that all your weakness goes away. so that from within, with remembrance and love, nobody else except Baba comes to my remembrance. And then Baba will give even more love. No one else should be remembered. This is my mother, my sister, all these different things, and people remember. How are they going to finish their sins? Through that kind of remembrance. Within a short period of time, there are so many people that they remember. Will their sins get cut through that? Even if they don't do any sins, they don't have the power to do pure karma. And so they would be lazy in their yoga. And at the time of listening to the Murli, they'd be looking at the clock. And they would not pay attention to come and say good morning. They won't say Yad Pyar to the mother and the father at the end of the Murli. And after we listened to the Murli, we used to go into silence for 15 minutes, and if we didn't do that, then Baba would not consider that we have been attentive. If anybody has missed even one Murli, Baba would think that this is not the worthy child. Baba was very attentive on what we were doing. As the father, as the teacher, he would complain, hey, your child is not studying properly. So Shiv Baba, in the form of the teacher, would complain to Brahma Baba. Then Baba would say to Mama, just as a father tells the mother, look, you're not paying attention on the children's studies. You have to make them do their homework. And so those who give attention to the study, and they don't give any excuse, they will have a very good relationship with Baba in the form of the Satguru. They will take so much blessings of the love that the heart is clean and true, the brain is cool, and their nature is very easy. This is because of the blessings of the Satguru. Even though they may be studying a lot, but if the heart isn't true, so some who study with the brain, but others who study with the heart, those who study from the heart, that heart is a mirror. Those who study with their heart, they keep the mirror of their heart clean, and they keep looking at themselves in that mirror, and they check. Baba is looking to see that the child is keeping the mirror clean and looking at itself. And then Baba gives them the power to change if there is any negativity there. When you think about the Satguru, there are many subtle aspects to do with being the one with a clean heart who is with the Satguru. You cannot be with the Satguru unless the heart is totally clean and honest. Then you become the detached observer and see that everyone is playing their own part. Hey soul, you are the soul of the previous kalpa. This is now the time of the confluence age. Child, have elevated and pure thoughts, and through your karma and your words, fill yourself with the most elevated sanskaras. You will get the fruit in the golden age, but make those good sanskaras now. Baba said you're not going to study Raj Yoga over there in the golden age. It is through yoga that you attain the status of the king, and you fill yourselves with those sanskaras now. And you will use it over there. Even if you become the child of Lakshmi and Narayan, and you will sit on the throne of Lakshmi and Narayan, but you make the effort for that here. In effort, the daughter of Brahma is Saraswati. They say Brahma Saraswati. She is his daughter, but the mother and father, and then first Lakshmi and second Narayan. So he has put her in front of him. Brahma Baba placed her in front, and she
Lakshmi
became.
माना जो लक्षणों को धारण
So
करे,
Lakshmi means the one
नारायण
who
माना
has
जो करनी पर ध्यान रखे।
inculcated the aims, and Narayan
बाबा ने
is
कहा
the
ना,
one
कर्म
who
में
has
गुणों का
done.
connection है।
And so there is a deep connection between the actions and the
संबंध में भी गुण
virtues.
दिखाई पड़ते हैं।
In your relationships, your virtues are visible.
एक तरफ में आत्मा,
On one side, the
उसमें
soul,
अपमान चला जाए,
and the arrogance has
ये
gone.
अपमान जो आत्मा में भरा पड़ा
All
है,
of that body consciousness that was filled into the soul has to be removed.
तो मैंने आप लोगों को एक कहानी सुनाई
And
थी,
so
फिर आज
I
फिर
tell
से
you
repeat
a
करती हूँ।
story.
अपमान को निकालना,
You have to remove the body consciousness.
पर आत्मा, मैं आत्मा हूँ, ये पक्का
I, the soul,
विश्वास,
make that firm, be totally
शुद्ध शांत
having
रहने की
perfect
शक्ति
faith in that, and
वो
have the
आत्मा में आ
power to
जाए।
remain clean and pure, so that that comes into the soul.
तो practically परमार्थ,
And so the practical
बहन थी,
form, there was
बड़ी
a
खूबसूरत थी,
sister who was very beautiful,
बहुत खूबसूरत थी।
extremely beautiful.
तो कई लड़के वगैरह थे, उसके पीछे पड़ते
And
थे
a lot
बेचारी
of
के।
boys were after her,
उसको बड़ा दुख होता था,
and she was very upset about
ऐसी
that.
सूरत मैं सुनी क्यों बनी?
She said, why should I be
भगवान को कहे, ये
like
मेरे से
this?
क्यों हुआ? मैं इतनी खूबसूरत क्यों बनी?
Why did God
सब
make me
मेरे
so
body के पीछे
beautiful?
पड़ते हैं।
They're all after my body.
इनसे मर जाऊं तो अच्छा।
It would be better if I would die.
जहर खा लिया,
And so she took poison,
जहर खा लिया तो मरी तो नहीं,
but she didn't die.
सारी शक्ल काली हो गई,
But her face became black,
शरीर ऐसा हो गया।
and her whole body
मैं
became
उसको जानती
dark.
थी, मैं उसको जानती थी, मैं उसको
I
पूछने
knew
गई
her,
थी।
and I went to ask her what happened.
मैंने कहा, ये तुमने अपने से कहा, ये शक्ल मेरी हुई ना,
She
पर न
said,
मरी,
this
पर मेरे
face
पीछे
of
तो कोई नहीं
mine,
मरेगा।
even if I didn't die, but nobody's after me anymore because I became ugly.
मैं पहले बदसूरत हो गई ना,
I became a person with an ugly
डॉक्टरों ने क्या
face.
किया? वो मुझे मिसाल देखने को मिला।
And so I
सारा
got
जो
this
जहर का
example
काला खून था,
that
वो निकालते
all
रहे,
the
सारा
doctor
निकालते रहे।
pulled all of that
अच्छा
poison
खून भरने
from
के लिए, जब काला
the
निकले तो उसको
blood,
भरे ना।
and then she got good blood again.
कितना टाइम लगा होगा?
But it took a long time.
अभी हमारे आत्मा के अंदर जो जहरीला
And now all of this
भरा हुआ
poison
है
that
ना,
is in our soul,
विकारों का जहर भरा हुआ
the
है,
poison of vices,
जो काले हो गए हैं
which
ना।
has made us black in
आत्मा तो
character.
काली वैसे, शक्ल अच्छी लेकर
Okay, we
भगवान
may have a nice, beautiful face and have arrogance of that face, but inside the soul is
वो
dark.
अपमान वाली शक्ल है।
That is a
और अंदर जो
arrogant
आत्मा में
face.
जहर भर गया,
But the
अनेक जन्मों
poison
से
in
भरा
the
हुआ
soul
है।
that has been
वो
accumulated over
सारा
many
अंदर योग बल से,
lives,
किसी ने मेरे को अभी समझा,
it is
अभी
through the
मैं यहाँ
power
योग
of
करके मैं
yoga.
अपने आप को
Somebody said, now
योग
I
करके
am
क्या अनुभव करेंगे?
understanding what is the meaning of the fire of yoga.
अभी मेरे आज किसको आया है ख्याल?
And today somebody figured it out.
बाबा ने कहा ना ज्वालामुखी
Because
योगो
Baba
अभी
had said you
समझाया।
should have
तो
volcanic
उससे
yoga.
सारा नेगेटिव अंदर
And
से
so through that all
सारा
of the
निकल जाए।
negativity is removed.
बाबा
And then they draw power from Baba into
Clean
themselves,
organization.
and the soul becomes totally clean and pure.
इतना अच्छा।
And then it becomes so
इसलिए
good.
बाबा ने कहा मस्तक चमकता
And then Baba
रहेगा,
has said the
नैन
forehead will be shining and the eyes will
नैनों
be
में
brilliant.
रूहानियत होंगी,
There will be
कमर
spirituality in the
मुस्कुराहट
eyes and a smile on the
चमकता
mouth, and the
रहेगा।
forehead
कैसे
will
आया?
shine. How did this
कमाल
happen? It is the wonder of Baba.
एकदम सच्चाई और प्रेम क्या होता है, सच्चाई से प्रेम क्या
And
होता
so
है?
you actually
परमात्म
know
प्यार।
what is love and truth through
जिसमें
the
जरा
love of
भी और
God,
किसी का
in which
negative force हमारे ऊपर असर नहीं हो सकता।
nobody's
इतनी मेरी
negative
power
force
है।
can affect me. I have to have that much power
तो
inculcated
मैं
within
अभी
myself.
आज सारा दिन, कल
So
रात को पांडव भवन में इस
yesterday
भावना से आई, अपने
I
लिए
came
आई।
to Pandav Bhavan for myself.
ऐसे बहुत समय के बाद आज जाकर
After
उस
a long
योग में
time, I wanted to sit and have meditation in History Hall, and I came there this morning for Amrit Vela.
और आज जो मैंने
And today,
कल रात से अभी तक
since
जो भाग्य
yesterday
मिला है कमाई
evening,
करने का,
the fortune I have of earning my
सारी life
income
के अंदर, पता है,
within my entire
यज्ञ सेवा
life
करना, दिल से करना।
to do the service of the
salvation
yajna
चाहिए,
from
मांगी नहीं,
the
आज
heart.
दिन
I
तक
have
नहीं
never
मांगी।
asked for any special favors.
एक्स्ट्रा मिलती है
or anything
यज्ञ का
extra.
एक पैसा भी
And even
हमारे
a
ऊपर खर्च नहीं हो
single
सकता।
penny of the yagya should not be spent extra on me.
ये कार भी होना चाहिए ये भी होना चाहिए ये भी
I
होना
should have a
चाहिए।
car, or I should have this,
बेकार
or I
करूँगा।
should have that. I'm not a beggar that I'm asking for all these things.
कल परसों हंसी में गुलजार दादी का
I said to Dadi Gulzar
वहाँ
as a
से
joke,
दादी के कांटे से वहाँ जाते हैं
we
जो
go
पैदल जाने वाली पहले पहुँचती है फिर
those
4 पाई
people
वाला देर
who
से
come
पहुँचता है
by
कार तो 4
car
पाई वाली है।
get later than those
4
who
पाई
go
वाले कौन
by
होते हैं?
foot. Who are the people who have 4 legs? The people in the animals, the 4-legged
अपने पाँव
ones, the
का-
people in the
इंसान
cars.
ज़्यादा अपने पाँव पर खड़ा न रहे।
At least a human being should be able to stand on their own 2
नई कार
feet.
चाहिए ये चाहिए ये चाहिए
Oh
ये
no, I
क्या
need a
है?
car, I need this, I
ये
need that. What is
सेवादारी
all
नहीं
this?
है।
This is not the attitude of a server.
मैंने दिल से कह दिया लंदन में आज
And
दिन
I
तक
said from my heart, even in London,
थर्ड हैंड कार ली होगी
I would always have had a second or third hand car.
नई कार ली नहीं है
I've
असुख
never
ली है।
taken a new car.
2000 पाउंड में ज़्यादा है वो 10 साल चली होगी कार।
Maximum £2,000 car, which is of 10 years old.
सेवाधारी माना
Because a server means
और कभी अकेली मेरे पास कार है नहीं
I can never say, oh, I don't have a car. There are many children who say, I will drive you.
फ्री
So I go for free.
भाग्य और भगवान मेरा
My fortune and God
कर्म
is
से
mine.
भाग्य भगवान है मेरा साथी
My
उसकी
karma
जो
gives me
खुशी
my
है ना,
fortune and God is my
मुझे अभी घुटनों में 10
companion.
माइल दौड़ के दिखा सकती है।
And even now
सांस
I
नहीं
can
चलेगा।
run for 10 miles and
रात
I
में
won't
चलना नहीं
get out
पड़ेगा।
of breath and I won't have pain in my
हाथ
legs.
ऐसे नहीं बुढ़ों का ऐसे
Yeah, my
ये
hands are
तपस्या
not
है
going
पूरी।
to shake.
कुछ
This
भी
is
हो जाए,
tapasya.
कभी
No
गिलास
matter
आता
what
है, ऐसे
happens,
पकड़ोगे।
if a glass comes in my hand, I'm not going to shake while holding it.
अपने आप
I have
उठ
to
के पानी तो पी सकूं।
get up myself and go and get a glass of water myself.
यज्ञ सेवा का महत्व जो है
The importance of yagya service,
खाना बना के 10 को खिलाओ 100 को
make
खिलाओ
food
क्या खाने को
and
नहीं मिलेगा?
give 10 people or 100 people to eat doesn't
बने बनाए
mean that
खाने
you
पर जाओ।
aren't going to
अच्छा,
eat
भले,
yourself.
खाओ।
Whatever food
चलो
comes,
खुश करके खिला
yes.
के भेज देंगे पर वो खुश तो खाना खा के खुश नहीं हुआ
You won't be happy if
वो
you're
खाने
not
आएगा, उसको
happy
खुश करने के लिए बड़ा
by
प्लान
eating
बनाना
that
पड़ेगा।
food. Some people have to make a lot of plans
ऐसा
to
पूजा से
make
पता
food. I don't want to have this kind of burden of needing special kind of food.
बोझा है
This is a burden.
लाइट हाउस बनेंगे कैसे
How are we going to become a lighthouse with these concerns?
ये चेक करो
You have to check
शरीर में आत्मा ने
that either soul in
यज्ञ
this
सेवा
body,
की है या यज्ञ
have
का
I
बोझा सिर पर
done
चढ़ाया है?
service of the yagya, or have I accumulated a burden of debt
पर
to the
बोझा है।
yagya? Those who have a debt,
तो हल्केपन की खुशी नहीं होगी
they will never get
आत्मा
the
सेकंड में
lightness
लाइट बन
of
के लाइट हाउस बन के सेवा करे कभी नहीं करे
feeling light, and they will
Light
never
बने,
be able to
might
be a
bring
lighthouse. They won't
light
be able
house.
to draw might and become a lighthouse.
जहाँ भी है
Wherever you are,
मन इच्छित मन में कोई
free
इच्छा
from
नहीं है।
desires of the
चाहिए
mind.
सब
Do you need anything? No, I have everything.
मम्मा पापा ने पूछा बच्ची कुछ
Mama and Baba used to
पता
ask.
है, एक बारी बाबा ने कहा
Once
बच्ची
Baba
आओ
had said, "Child, come,"
प्यार किया
and he gave a
कहा,
lot
मैं
of love.
अब चाहता तेरे को कोई गिफ्ट दूं
And Baba said, "I want to give you a gift."
मैंने कहा, "आपके पास क्या रखा है मुझे गिफ्ट देंगे
I said, "What do you have? You can't give me a gift?"
तो फिर भी देखता रहे
And he was
गोदी बिठा
looking,
दिया। मैंने
and he
कहा, "ये
put
गिफ्ट
me
सबसे अच्छा
on his lap. I said, "That's the best gift of all. What do you need?"
इतनी बाबा ने खुशी दी है
Baba has
शांति
given
दी है,
so much peace
शक्ति
and
दी है, जो
happiness and
उसकी
power,
गोद में बैठने लायक, दिल में
and
बैठने
he
लायक।
made us worthy to sit in his lap and in his
भगवान ने
heart.
दिल में अपना स्थान दे दिया है
God has given us a place
मेरे
in
दिल
his
में कुछ नहीं
heart.
है
I have nothing in my heart.
तो कितनी राजाई है
This is a great kingdom.
राज्य पद पाने वाले की दिल सफा है
The heart of those who are to get to the position of the king, they have a clean heart.
अपने दिल को सच्चा क्लीन
So the heart must be clean, totally clean,
बुद्धि की लाइन क्लियर
and the line of the intellect should be totally clear.
लाइन क्लियर है तो कभी
If your line is clear, you will not get fused. You say the fan's not going, this is not working, the other is not working.
साइलेंस पावर है,
But you have the power of silence.
ऊपर से मिल रहा है,
You are drawing power from above.
ऑटोमेटिक अच्छा चल रहा है,
So automatically everything is working nicely.
ऑटोमेटिक अच्छा चल रहा है,
Automatically it's working nicely.
जैसे साइंस का ऑटोमेटिक अच्छा चल
Just
रहा
as
है,
science makes everything work nicely automatically, it's very good.
वैसे साइलेंस में
So
ऑटोमेटिक
in silence everything is working nicely. This is Baba's help. Baba's doing it. I can't say I am doing it. No, because that's immediately arrogance. And your connection with Baba breaks.
या मुझे करना है,
Or I have to do it and so I can't sleep. Something is on your mind. No, Baba is the one who is getting it done. What do you have to do?
तुमको एक्यूरेट एवर रेडी रहना है.
You simply have to be accurate and ever ready.
ऐसे आजकल दिन तक के इतने
Up
अपने
until today,
विचार पे पक्के हैं,
I have been so firm
थोड़ा
on
भी
my
कहेंगे नहीं ये
thoughts
कर, वो सुनने के लिए भी तैयार नहीं है.
that people are not ready to hear anything else. We will see. Will you do this? They'll say, we'll see, we'll think about it. Who is that? Those who say, well, maybe. Baba has said, benefit yourself and keep the attitude of benefit for everybody. Baba has, whatever Baba gets to be done through you is full of benefit. The time has passed, but I still want to tell you one more story. When I came to Baba, I just wanted to run and be in the yagya. I had that enthusiasm. And Baba used to test me and say, no, you should stay with your Lokik father. I used to come in the morning for class. I used to come quickly. I never missed it. And he didn't give me any breakfast. He didn't let me stay there. He tested me. I said, okay, that doesn't matter. But the service I had of doing sewing or making pappers, I used to do it at home. And as much as I was in the home, I was doing yagya service. I would bring the sewing back in the evening, and I would come accurately in the evening so that I could, the teacher who I had, teacher used to come to from Mama's bungalow to give class in the evening, and so I did my homework and I was there. And so this was Baba's getting my daily report, and he said, no, she's become very clever. He said, there's no need for a teacher to come, she could teach herself. And so even there, I took the service of the yagya home. He didn't give food in the evening or in the morning. He said, no, you go and eat in your father's house. I said, okay. And I used to go there and make something and eat it. I didn't eat from my mother's hand because she had a lot of attachment for me. So I wouldn't eat it. I made it myself. There are many different kinds of service that I got. I said, yes, okay, I will do. And suddenly a day came. Baba said, okay, now you can stay. And stay where? Not in Mama's house where Dadi Kumarka and the others were, but I had to stay where the old people the old ladies who used to get angry, I used to have to stay with them. And there were 40 children whose mothers had left them, and there was nobody to look after them. And so he asked me to stay in Baby Bhavan, where all the children were. So I said, okay.
वो जिसके साथ कोई न रह सके उसके साथ रखा।
And the ones with whom nobody could stay, he kept me with them. So he tested me a lot.
क्योंकि बच्चों को संभालना आसान तो नहीं
So it's not an easy thing to look after all that many children.
फिर क्या हुआ?
And then what happened? In the evening, there was Hardevi and her father. She said, shall we go to Mama? He was a big boss, and then he became the driver of the Yagya's car, and he took us to Mama, and Mama was sitting there. There was Kumar Kadade, all the daddies were there, Shantamani Dadi, Chandramani Dadi, and they were my class friends in Lokik, but I was made separate, so I went to Mama, and Mama said, I said, Mama, why did you keep me over there? And I cried a little bit. And Mama said, you're Janak, right? Why did you ask this question? Why did I get kept there? Mama said, you are Janak, and then I have never said afterwards, why did you keep me in this place? And so I stayed with them for 2.5 years, and all those old ladies became very good. People who used to be afraid of them, I used to tell them the Murli, and they became my students. They said they thought that they enjoyed it. There were a lot of virtues. And Chandrahas Baba Dada knows about this story. And then eventually, I had a Lokik shawl. I didn't have anything else, so I said, I'm not going to wear this shawl from Lokik. It's Lokik, isn't it? So Mama said, no, you wear it. And Mama, I said, you called me Janak, so I threw it away. I have never touched any Lokik thing since that time. Like Baba has said, if you want anything, Baba will give you. If Baba says you wear it, otherwise he will change it. So within the old things of Lokik, and I have other very important stories to tell you, but the time is running out. Somebody will say, okay, keep this jewelry, keep this money. I said, what is Baba teaching us? What am I going to do with that? And Baba used to see if the child has truth and love, you'll stay pure, 100% in the mind, 100% pure. You will not take any food from anyone impure, and nobody could have any bad drishti or attitude on Dadi. The mouth can eat and the hand can make food. Why should I take anything from any impure person? Karma is very powerful. The Supreme Being is very powerful, but it's very powerful to do pure karma with a true heart. The yoga should also be very powerful. Nobody else, nothing else should come into your remembrance. It should be that much pure and powerful connection with Baba. For no reason anything should come into your mind. There is no reason why. If you remember that, then you have to think, who do I belong to? Where do I come from? The other person cannot have any selfish motives for me. I do not belong to any of those people. Internally, with true remembrance and true service. And then you see that a person who does that can never experience sorrow, but they will receive all kinds of blessings. Sorrow cannot come to such a person. The blessings automatically come, and the power of the blessings of God and the people with whom you are living, they will feel very good towards you. And those children of those mothers, they also gave good blessings. I had 40 children to look after, and they all came into good order, and the parents were very happy with how they behaved so well. Baba said, no more anger. Sometimes if someone was very naughty, I would tie them up just a little bit, or perhaps not give them toli, and make them sit in meditation in the evening, not talk when eating. And I would teach them in this way. Do like this, do like that. So Baba had taught in this way. We could never strike a child, not at all. Wherever Baba keeps us, whatever service we get, we do it with great happiness. Internally, the feelings of Baba, and he gives us so much power. To have the thought, well, I don't know how to do this, I'm uneducated, or this kinds of thought. No, Baba is getting it done. This is the foundation. This is the way you make your foundation strong, by doing a service of the yagya and having extremely powerful, tight bond of relationship with Baba, the teacher, mother, Satguru. I have tied him just as Dadi has tied Baba so much, Dadi Prakash Mani. So I will also bind Baba like she has. Baba has bound us, so we will bind Baba. So we have a right on God. And he says, peace and happiness is your birthright. From the beginning, child, this is your birthright. Since your birth, happiness and peace is my right. There could never have been any tears of sadness. I could never have gone in sadness to Baba. People would have tested me to try to give me sorrow. Always I would write, Baba, you give me so much help, Baba. And he would say, Acha, Acha. If you did a little mistake, immediately say to Baba, don't even wait a minute, oh Baba, this happened. Okay, I've understood, now you forget. And so in this way, not only homework, but we should have such understanding that the blessings and mercy of the Satguru is doing so much work. This is the wonder of Baba. Om Shanti. I said I would finish quickly, but I didn't, because I have so much love for all of this family. Now, Dadi will give toli to everyone. She will come and take in silence. I'm going down to Shanti Bhawan and then to Ahmedabad, Goa. But to come to Om Shanti Bhawan, to become filled with peace and happiness forever, everyone should be the form of that, and it is in that happiness that I'm giving you toli.